Hey guys, and welcome back to another video from the Parrott Bros. I know it's been over 3 months, no videos, but that is about to change with what's standing behind me and another little surprise which is coming up for you next week, so do not miss that. Now let's get stuck straight into it. Behind me is a motorcycle. Now I am swapping 4 wheels for 2 wheels, and there's loads of reasons why. I'm gonna go through all of these in this video. I won't talk too much about the bike on this video, more about why I've transitioned onto 2 wheels from 4. This is one of 2 bikes that I have. This is an adventure bike, mostly known for doing like road trips. If you've ever watched Ewan McGregor's, where he travels the world, this kind of bike. So great for traveling, a bit of green laning this one, and some other stuff. And then I've got a sports bike, which is more for roads and a bit of a hoon around. But there's loads of reasons why I've swapped 4 wheels for 2, and we're going to go over some of them in this video today, and of course in subsequent videos in the future. Now I absolutely still love TTs. I will still be making some TT content in the future, but for the time being I'm going to be focusing on the bikes. But don't go anywhere, there will be more TT content for all you TT lovers, and of course some kit car content as well. I just wanted a break. It's been just over 3 months and it's hard to make videos regularly, come up with new ideas, so I needed a bit of downtime, plan some new stuff, get some new stuff, and just have a rest. Now I am raring to go, loads of videos, so stay tuned. But yeah, so 4 wheels for 2. Motorcycles are great, loads more fun, less money, easier to store, and the variants are unbelievable. You can have supercar power on a run-around car budget. So there's quite a good few perks, loads of brands, loads of gear, loads of stuff to discuss. But I think we should go and hit the road. Let's go. So, not quite my normal office where you're used to seeing me. Hopefully the structure will be the same. So please bear with me as I do my first few videos on the bike, because there is a little bit more to pay attention to whilst also doing some filming. So today our steed is this 2016 Tiger XCA 800. Now this is a lovely bike. This is actually a bike I've wanted for over a year, because you know, if you know me and you've watched the channel, I absolutely love a road trip. Now there's a few reasons why I wanted this bike. It is a great spec, spoke wheels, a lovely colourway with the satin or matte green, and it came with the 3-piece adventure luggage, which for doing a road trip is necessary, because if you can imagine the kind of clothes and camera stuff and bits you take on a 5-night trip or 6-night trip with you, that's a big backpack to be wearing 24/7. So at least this way you've got a bit more options for luggage, rather than having to wear a backpack the entire time and having a really sweaty back, which is not really what you want to do. So that is one of the reasons why I wanted this bike. I've also got another 2012 Triumph Street Triple, a bit of a Triumph fanboy apparently, wasn't intentional. And that's more of a sporty number, not specifically for doing road trips, but this is just the one I had in my garage at home ready to go. So why motorcycles? There's a number of reasons. If you've ever ridden a motorcycle, I don't have to explain it to you, so this is solely just for the people who have never ever sat on a motorcycle. They're wicked. They are absolutely great fun. So let me just put this into context for you. I am riding down a very boring road, which in a car, 40 mile an hour, not particularly exciting. Hopefully the wind's not too bad today, it's quite windy. But on a motorcycle, it is a little bit more exciting. Even just your day-to-day driving, a lot more exciting. There's also some other perks if you're going to commute, that arguably you can always find yourself towards the front of traffic. Unfortunately we can't do it on this occasion because the lights have just changed and I'm not that much of a crazy guy, but you can normally filter through to the front, so traffic tends not to be too much of a problem, which is a very, very nice thing to do. But no, motorcycles in general, the way someone explained it to me many years ago, if you've never ridden one, is if you want to go fast, and I'm not saying this is on the road, this could be done completely legally on track or up at Santa Pod or whatever. If you want to go fast, you want to buy a car that will do 180 miles an hour, you're going to need the best part of between 100 and 200,000 pounds, if not more. On a bike nowadays, especially with you, Liz, helping us reduce the price of bikes, you can go out and buy yourself something like an 1100 Blackbird, or a 13 or 14, like a ZZR 1400, something like that, for like £2,000 to £4,000. Now that will do 160 to 180 miles an hour, and then you can just pop to the shop and go home again. So the actual cost of doing it is phenomenal. So there's one of the perks of riding a bike. Look straight to the front, completely legal filtering, and you're ready to go again, saving yourself a bit of time. But yeah, so bikes, you can buy a supercar power for not supercar money. Now there's other perks as well, of course. If you're a bit of a hoarder like me, you could fit one car in a garage. If you're clever, you could fit about 5 or 6 motorcycles in a garage, so there's another perk. The bike variety is incredibly vast. You've got to try them before you buy them. I would recommend sitting on them, because every single bike fits everyone differently. If you've got long legs, short legs, long arms, short arms, there is lots of different variants to take into consideration. This bike may not be for everyone, and I've had to lower the seat just so I can flat foot the floor, because this is a 200 kilogram bike. Some bikes you can get are just over 100, so quite a big difference. And there's loads of different variants. It also depends on what you're going to be using it for. Are you going to be doing road trips? Do you just want something to hoon around on a Sunday morning while no crazy drivers are on the road? It is entirely dependent, or you do what I plan to do and get a few, and then you have one for every variant required. Now this bike, the reason I got this one was because I wanted something with cruise control. Now I know you shouldn't be using cruise control on a motorcycle, you should be out enjoying the motorcycle. If I'm going to do a road trip, and part of that is on the motorway, your hand goes dead, because you are holding it in the same position, same as your foot would if you're doing 200 miles and your foot has to stay in exactly the same position all that time. So I wanted a bike with cruise, and I wanted a green one, so it was quite hard to find, and this was the options available. Now this come up, nice little deal, one owner, only bought from the same dealership and taken back to the same dealership to service, so an absolute no-brainer from my part. And this was less than £7,000. It's done 11,000 miles, I think it is. When I picked it up, it's just that it's got full service history from the same dealer it was bought from as well. So there's your cruise control. It works the same as a car, super simple to use, and I tell you what, it is absolutely lovely. Just to rest your hand for a few seconds. Stay there, matey, thank you. And it's just, it would just take some of the strain out of, if you're going to do like a 3,000 mile trip. The last thing you want to do is get hand cramp. It is horrible. Anyone who rides a bike will tell you about it. But yeah, I mean, motorcycling in general has always been a passion of mine from, say, 2008, 2009, I think. I started doing motocross, and then I transferred over to track days, and then a few other things. Did a bit of Santa Pod on bikes as well. Absolutely love it. Then things changed, friends didn't ride, had a family, that kind of stuff, and then fast forward to maybe a year and a half ago, and I thought, do you know what, it's time to get back on a bike. Cars are getting too expensive, the roads are horrible to drive on, and it was just time, you know. So then yeah, went out last summer, bought myself the Street Triple, and the rest is history. Now I've been meaning to do some filming on bikes, I've just not got around to it. I've been enjoying them too much. I wanted to get back to feeling comfortable again on a bike before I jumped behind the camera and showed you guys what we were doing. So apologies for being away. I know I've been away for, oh god, 3 months now. But I am back. I'm going to be doing loads of content on cars, why I've swapped my car for a bike, 4 wheels for 2, because I feel like this is where I am now. Now, do not get me wrong, there is a big video coming next Sunday. Some of you may have seen it coming, some of you may not, so that is a very interesting one. But I wanted to take a few months off, give myself a break, because I probably spend, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours, maybe more, probably 6 to 8 hours just to do one video a week. So it's quite involved, and I just wanted a bit of a break, a bit of a time off, and I've had a reset now. I feel absolutely fantastic, ready to film, full of ideas. So the videos will be coming at you thick and fast, both videos for bikes and cars. So don't worry, for you car guys who are not interested in bikes, if you've stuck around this long, there is going to be something for you. Now let me show you, now this is warmed up and we can find a nice road to do this on, why you get a bike. Now these bikes, it has 6 gears. Arguably for road purposes you only really need 2, because they go like a stab rat. So this is 2nd gear, already at the speed, just over the speed limit. Let off a little bit. It just absolutely takes off, and the acceleration is second to none. If you take my street triple for example, around 100 horsepower for just under, I believe just under 200 kilos, I think it's like 170 kilos. So if you just, we'll say it's 200 for maths sake, that is 500 brake a ton, and that bike was £4,000. Now let's set the cruise, because I can, and then I can just take my hand, rest it a little bit on top, don't have to worry too much, you're maintaining the speed limit. Absolutely fantastic. That's going to make a massive difference when it comes to doing the road trips. Now you can have fun on any bike, whether it's a Harley, a Cruiser, a 125. Most 125s now, if you do your research properly, will be able to do 70 on a nice straight road, maybe a little bit downhill with the wind behind you. And they are great fun. You do not need to go fast to have fun. I have had some fantastic times on some very slow bikes. I mean, this is a massive bike, not made for things like this, but look at the lean on that, look. Absolutely fantastic. It's so exciting. I mean, look, even this little chicane here, look, on a bike, just, oh, feels absolutely wonderful. You feel so alive, so more connected to the road compared to a car. It is just second to none. And I wanted to take this journey with you guys because you've been with me the entire time with TTs, and I have some super loyal subscribers, and without you guys I could not have done it. And I just wanted to share the biking journey with you. I'm sure maybe 1 in 10 of you have a motorcycle and appreciate motorcycling. I want to know, if you have a bike, what do you ride? And if you don't have a bike but you want one, what would you ride? Because I intend to put my bum onto as many different kind of seats as I can, ride loads of different bikes, film the process, including trips, including going to different bike cafes, riding different bikes, meeting bikers, going on trips, all sorts of wonderful stuff. Now this bike is a bit bigger than the other one that I'm used to, so I'll take it easy. But look at that, look, straight to the front. It's as if someone made a space for you. That last space is a little bit tight, so we'll just pop it in here nicely. But yeah, absolutely love it. Like I said, even just the basic journeys are great fun. Now, do not get me wrong, there is some drawbacks. We'll talk about them quickly before I wrap up this first video, as I don't want you to think it's all daisies. Motorcycling, it can be dangerous. We all know that. I'm sure there is, don't get me wrong, there is some bikers that ride crazy. They take silly risks, silly gaps, they ride badly, they don't apply to the speed limit, they don't look at road signage and all that kind of stuff. So I couldn't help myself. 50 in first gear. Oh, that is mental. And they don't ride to the speed limit, they don't ride to the rules of the road, and they obviously put themselves and others in danger. They also don't wear the correct protective gear. Now I know you probably can't see me that well, but at the beginning of the video you saw me wearing green cargos and a black shirt. Both of them CE AA rated, which is the best rating you can buy for that type of clothes that's not leather. It has all the protection, it has ghost armor. I won't go into too much detail, but it has great armor, and it's Kevlar lined, and it has been tested, and they are known good manufacturers, because that is quite a big deal when it comes to stuff like this, because at the end of the day that buys you seconds if you ever have to slide down the road. So yeah, motorcycling can be dangerous, and obviously you can protect yourself better by buying good gear, a decent helmet, because at the end of the day you only get one head, decent gear, and obviously ride to your limits. You also have to watch out for other people. Now you can see I've got 2 cameras on the bike. I normally ride with this chin mount on my helmet because it gives you a nice view of the road, and it acts as a bit of a dash cam. I've got dash cams in my car because I've had an accident before where they tried to get away with it when it was their fault. Other things other than people trying to get you is stuff like this rubbish in the road. Now you don't know what that is. That could be a brick in that bag for all you know, and it is very dangerous. So that is another thing to take into consideration. But for the most part, ride to your ability and you'll have an absolutely lovely time. I always get told, and I've been told, and I tell people, ride like you're invisible. Ride as if no one in the world can see you. So put yourself in a position where you're not going to come into contact with any cars. If it's safe to do so, make yourself known, you know, like you can obviously put your foot down in front of a bike like that. Stop here nicely, they can all see me, and I'll get away in good time. You have to be careful of what people are doing, especially it also depends on where you drive. Like if you drive in London, it can be a lot worse. But yeah, ride like you're invisible. So see this van here, he probably didn't see us, so he doesn't care. This car here, keep an eye on them the whole time, ready to change lanes just in case, because believe me, you never know. But I'm not going to down talk it. It is absolutely fantastic. I would ride every day for the rest of my life if I could. I absolutely love it to bits. Best thing I've ever done, and you will have some great fun. I've already converted a few friends into bikers just by me buying a bike and going on rides and them seeing some of the videos. So, and well, the fact that I don't stop talking about it. But I go to loads of different venues. I've got a list of probably 200 places that I want to visit. Some of them are absolutely wicked. Even if you don't have a bike, if you just appreciate bikes and you want to go there, absolutely fantastic. There's a cafe in London called Bike Shed. You ride through the cafe while people are eating their food to the motorcycle parking at the back, and it is absolutely wicked. Keep an eye on them, they're not moving, we're good. And yeah, it is, I want you to join the journey with me because it is a great one. Well, thank you for watching. If you've tuned in all this time, thumbs up from me. That has been another video from the Parrott Bros. Bye for now.